Good evening. One today is Tuesday, July 15th, 2025. Update for Wednesday, 16th. All right, let's go. Well, as far as official setups, let's stick with this NAGE. Getting a little long in the tooth, meaning a lot of days in the setup and fairly deep in the pullback. But for now, let's give it another day or so and see what happens. New one tonight, TGEN. We'll take a look at that one. Very loose parameters, as you can see on that one. Not a great day to portfolio. We'll get to that too. Here's the NAGE. Again, wait for an entry. Fairly deep pullback in quite a few days, but it still looks like it has potential longer term. TGM would be the second one in here. This is an IPO, obviously. Nice persistent move higher. Nice pullback. Almost a DTKO type of pullback in a fairly big slide there. There is one short on the list. I don't see any reason to short anything at this juncture. Overall, the market still looks pretty good, but for the most part, as you can see, mostly longs in here setting up going into tomorrow. Some of them, like the NAGE, fairly deep pullbacks, as you can see. But anyway, as far as official setups, let's stick with those two. Let's take a look at the portfolio, and then we'll pop out to the overall market and drill down a little bit. First of all, BTM, bit of a bummer, selling off fairly hard. Longer term, still an uptrend, but obviously, I know your stops just in case, you know the routine. KGC continues to consolidate at these high levels. Hasn't done anything wrong, but obviously, I should like to see it bang out some new highs sooner rather than later. Kato's coming back in a little bit. It could probably use a breather. Nice little breakout to all-time highs there. So far, so good. Let's take a look at TFPM. Tailed lower, ended in Flatsville by the end of the day. Slightly lower, obviously. Still looks pretty good. Again, longer term. VG coming in a little bit off its worst level. Still looks like a bigger picture, a cup and handle. So it's got a bigger picture pattern working for it so far, at least. Let's take a look at the overall market. Obviously, and drill down a little bit. S&P 500, bit of a bummer. Got to all-time highs, but unfortunately came right back in. Still just kind of consolidating, though, at these high levels. I wouldn't get too excited one way or the other. Ideally, though, you know me, I want to see them hold these prior peaks. And while we're wishing for things, I'd like to see it just blast higher and not look back for a while. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ Composite. Also an opening gap reversal, but did manage, believe it or not, to close at all-time highs. So, as a trend guy, I'm not going to argue at all-time highs. Don't like the opening gap reversal, though. Rusty 2000. Opening gap reversal there. Looking kind of ugly. Down nearly 2% on the day. Again, this thing just... I'd like to see this thing get going and plow through this overhead supply. Cybersecurity opening gap reversal there. Still holding above its recent breakout. But additional weakness, and obviously if it dropped back below those breakout levels, that would be of concern. Robotics, opening gap reversal there. Ending in Flatsville. Still some overhead supply to deal with. Biotech got whacked pretty hard. As you can see, outside day down nearly 3% on the day, stalling at this overhead supply. I'm still seeing some strength internally, but obviously you want to honor your stops on anything there just in case, and be selective, of course. Gold, the commodity, selling off a little bit, continues to consolidate these high levels. It looks okay longer term, but you know me, again, I like to see some brand new highs there. Gold stocks got whacked pretty hard, actually. Off their worst level, still whacked pretty hard nonetheless. Mostly sideways as of late. Much longer term, still an uptrend, but obviously stuck in a sideways range for now. Bitcoin came back in fairly hard today. That's okay, though. It's kind of a TKO-ish type of move. Everybody gets excited, and then you get a bit of a knockout move, so that's fine for now. Obviously, if you're going after that, though, make sure you wait for a resumption of the uptrend. Software remains below its prior peaks, stalling out a little today, kind of ending in Flatsville. Defense, opening gap reversal there, gap to all-time highs, but then came back in by the end of the day. Still looks pretty good, though, obviously, longer term. Semiconductors gap to all-time highs and managed to hang on to most of their gains. So that's certainly a good thing. When you see the semiconductors up 2% at all-time highs, that's certainly a pretty good market. I do, as I often preach, I do like to see the semiconductors confirm what's happening in the indices. I think it's more important nowadays than the transports, kind of the information superhighway, so to speak. Cloud computing below overhead supply. So again, it's still mixed out there, here and there. Overall, things still look pretty good. Platinum remains pretty much in a melt-up for now, consolidating as of late. Ditto for palladium. Rare earths, or other rare earths, I guess I should say, such as uranium, actually managed to bang out new closing highs. So that's certainly a good thing there. Financials selling off fairly hard, so that's kind of back to the bummer column. You can see it dropped below its recent breakout. They dropped below the recent breakout. Metals overall, a little bit of a gap reversal there, opening lap reversal coming back in, but so far looking pretty good, just off all-time highs. So overall, things still look good. There's still some mixed action out there, which in a way is kind of okay. If some of those mixed areas begin to improve, then we could see the mother of all rally soon. But obviously, when you're at new highs like this and inflection points, if you have a sizable down day, things begin to look fairly ugly. So as usual, let's just take things one day at a time. Everybody have a fantastic night. We'll talk tomorrow, if not sooner. Thank you so much.